This is not a big discussion, it's just an exchange of instruments.
Blessing him with all the necessary tools needed for the service of your people, and always protect him wherever he will be doing. We thank you also for the outgoing RDC who is leading us. We also ask you to bless him, and where he is going, may he be blessed, and also protect him, and also continue giving us the tools of service, especially for your people. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
So, and I heard that there was transfers of resident district commissioners. Taking note that you were specifically brought to Amuru, I had no reservations, and my feeling was at peace that the assignments that the president wants done, accomplished in Amuru, will be completed. The security situation is relatively calm. Key things to take note of: one, land conflicts, which is extraordinary in Amuru. Families, brothers fight brothers, clans fight clans. These land conflicts defeats even the judiciary, because they start as civil conflicts, they become criminal issues. Now you are first in between addressing criminality in civil matters. That is the basis of all the problems we have in Amuru. Two, we have the problem of extended border conflicts. The border conflicts are at three levels. At the levels of international, because we border South Sudan, especially in Atiak and the surrounding areas, we are not clear where Uganda on the ground starts and South Sudan on the ground starts. So the occupants along the border overlap, and there are always tensions. We need to take interest in that, because it has a big bearing in your operations and business you conduct. We have conflicts at district levels, the boundaries, the question of our power and where it falls is a national issue. But all the problems emanating from our power, it is Amuru to always address. You've seen the chapels we have impounded. All of them come from our power. There is a state of lawlessness in our power. Everybody do business as they please, primarily because the boundary question has not been resolved. Some people think it is in Amuru, some people think it is in Adjumani. So it creates a lot of difficulties, and it brings an insecurity. We have insecurity problems for boundary related at sub-county levels. The sub-counties of Atiak in Amuru and Palaro in Gulu share Okidi. And Atiak wants to believe Okidi is part of Amuru. Palaro wants to believe Okidi is part of Gulu. And it brings revenue questions, it brings mobilization questions, it brings... These are highlights that have had the bearing on security, and the question of borders, those are national challenges. The robberies conducted with borders or conducted on borders, a bigger bit of the problem we have been struggling to handle. But overall, the population is peaceful and the security situation is relatively calm. I have consolidated a big report for you, which I will find very enriching for you when you volume. It informs him of what he should expect in Amuru. In summary, we interest you to know that in Amuru, as a district which is big, the size of Amuru is 4,851 square kilometers. So 4,851 square kilometers. That means it is almost from one side to another side, you might go 1,000. From one side to another side, you might go 4,000. So, or 2,000 by 2,000. That's the size of Amuru kilometers to make for you the size which is 4,000. So it's big. If you bring Buteleja in Amuru, you would introduce how many Butelejas? 8 Butelejas to make one Amuru. But the challenge is that when programmings are being done at national level, you are considered at equal level to someone in Buteleja. Your fuel is the same, everything is the same, but the workload you do in the interest of service is bigger than what you want to understand. And we have strategic government interests in Amuru. And one of the strategic government interests and investments are, one, the focus of government is to ensure people get out of poverty. There are development initiatives and investments that have been put in Amuru. One of them is Attack Sugar. It's a multi-billion investment. Another one which you are just coming to start, and I want you to fasten your belt because the principal himself might be here shortly to launch Madivani Sugar. It's going to be in Lakang. We have big time investors, Ome Farm, we have Terra Agri and many others whose interests you need to closely monitor because they contribute heavily to the gross domestic products, and at national level we hold them at esteem. When you go to the different sub-counties, the most affected sub-county is Lakang, Atiak, Pogo. I say this because the presidential executive order which you have implemented in Apache is heavily being implemented here in Amuru on migrant cattle keeping and commercial charcoal production. You've seen the charcoal we have arrested. You will arrest more. But they don't come like Mwen, Keken, Bim, Keruko, Keduch. So that's what I need to let you know. It is not white hands only, that the operations are smooth. Along the way, I think you met a truck intercepted with charcoal. It's part of the problem. It would have been bloody yesterday, but we manage it because some people think they own the world. But where there is law and order, where there is justice, law and order sector in operations, where government is still functional, nobody is above the law. I will only highlight the fact that take special interest in the implementation of the executive order, migrant cattle keeping and the commercial charcoal production. Take special interest in health emergencies. We have cases of Mpox in Amuru, and as chair of the district task force, it will be your duty to ensure all stakeholders are mobilized to contain the infections. The team in Amuru is cooperative, let me use that word. They will give you all the opportunities you want to prosper. You will learn certain things as you go along. But the office has been very welcoming to receive you, because I think also over time people get tired of others. They were tired of me also. But I leave Amuru with a legacy. The legacy is that there is a mixture in the mind of people. Whether I should go or I should stay, that is the best you want to attain in any life. You don't want situations where people fight for you not to go or fight for you to go away. let people remain in a state of confusion, you mean you will have performed to the best of your... There are those who will want to say, let him go. There are those who will want to say, we wish he could stay. It's equilibrium. That's what we want. They will offer you any service you want to ensure your work is smooth. We are blessed. We have an office. We also have residential facilities allocated to the resident district commissioners, which we share the ones we have with the magistrate. It's just for field work. This is not, is a non-family duty station, but there's a room, a bedroom, and associated facilities, a living room, a kitchen, and a boys' quarter house, an escort house, where a uniport. So you are here as a resident, not mobile. The rest of the talking will come with orientations and guidance from the district local government accordingly when you assume office. I want to formally extend the instruments of power that enables you to assume office. Sorry. There is a wave of cough and flu. It's not the bulk of it is going to be in this. Yes. It was Protocol is a learning process. Protocol dictates that the person in authority stays on the right. Next time you need to know this. Now that office has changed, I seek to shift my seat also.
Please, let's bring the chair. Sit fully. But the only candidate to me the keys.
No. But why have you moved? Our office has a bunch of keys. Some have been shared to different users, but the ones that relate to your office and your place of residence are all closed in here. With great honor.
Iraq district. I am very excited. First of all, I want to thank God for the gift of life and the gift of His wisdom that He enabled the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to identify and entrusted some of us with a task on his behalf. I want to thank him for entrusting me to come and serve the people of Amuru. I also want to thank so much the leadership of Apache District Local Government. That was my first test. The first appointment as the RDC. I'd never been any RDC, not a deputy RDC, not an assistant RDC, but I was entrusted to lead the district in representing the interest of central government in Apache. I want to thank them that they provided an environment which enabled me to learn. And it also gave me an opportunity to do what I could. Sometimes you do your self-assessment, but also your assessment may be based on others. Today I moved to Amuru with a lot of excitement that the feedback that I have got proves that indeed we did our best with the team in Apache. And that is why you can see the district here, Apache here, the cow. We should have had the town clerk, the mayor of Apache municipality, and other teams. So I want to say, today in Amuru, I wish first of all to thank my brother, Latek. We have moved a long way. We will do a lot of sharing. I want to wish you well in Karamoja. Sometimes they shift people who are performers once they've identified a challenge. You know, in our local language, they say, if you keep on eating your mother's food, you may think she cooks the best. Go and test others. And I think in the interest of the president, he wanted Latek to go and try the food he cooked in Karamaja. You were too used to the food in Acholi. The president in Ikumesha wanted me to come and test like Black Korokoro. Because I was too used to moko. And I am here today. I only want to say two things. One, let us remain united. I am very happy that the outgoing RDC spoke about teamwork. We can only be successful if we work as a team. No man on this earth can ever be successful without teaming. I want to call on you, the District Security Committee of Amuru, the district leadership of Amuru, the district stakeholders. Amuru is all ours. For me, wherever I go, I always tell people, in the interest and in the ideas of the president, who is the principal of this country, he speaks about patriotism. What does he mean? Patriotism starts with us. Once in Amuru, as the RDC, I can never be a person who would move out to lament about issues in Amuru. The best thing that we can do is to ensure that we work together to create an environment that is attractive for everybody to come to Amuru. That is our interest. In that way, we shall anchor in development. And today I come as a person who is willing to learn. My brother, when I call you, don't say the network in Kabong is too bad. I can never assume that I know everything in Amuru. In Amuru to start off. I will be based on information provided by you. Sometimes I may read this annual report and it may not be substantial, it may not provide enough information. So I'll still reach out to you. You know, when you're a woman and you are newly married in a house, you can never begin to think that you know all the corners and you begin cooking. Sometimes you may think you're preparing a good meal for your husband, for your in-laws. Yet in actual sense, you're providing a meal which is cursed by such people. So I will rely on you. I will rely on the team who has been in Amuru, the district leadership and everybody. I want to call on you that please, let's work as a team. Teamwork is the most important. Lastly, I have already come. You've seen I've come with my bed, that means I am ready to sleep. I'm a resident district commissioner. I am not going to be a day scholar in Amuru because I want to know what happens in Amuru. During daytime, during night, I want to know what happens within my district. So get ready to take care of me. Get ready to show me the corners which are dangerous in the night. And you say, RDC, when you are going around this corner, be careful because you are going to be my guide. Finally, I want to thank God. And I also want to thank the people who arranged this program for bringing Father in our midst. You know, where there is an anointed man of God, there is a spirit that comes. Sometimes you may think you're a very serious prayerful warrior. I gave an example the other day when I was handing over in Apache, that there was an incident in an area. Some people who claimed they were anointed went with their Bible and they started to. But in the end, they ended up running with their Bible. And when we deeply inquired, we realized that they were actually not anointed. You know, these days, everybody is a prayer warrior, even when they may not know what actually they are doing. In Uganda today, everybody has a person who he or she consults, even on phone. Please pray for me, even if you don't know who. One day, a certain woman called me. I think it was a mistaken contact. And she started telling me all her problems. You know, my children do this, you know, my husband. And I said, okay, what do I do for you? They told me you are very good, you can turn out this kind of... I don't know whether she was consulting a witch doctor or a man of God.
A witch doctor.
So later on, I just had to switch off my phone. Otherwise, what I am saying is, let's get to know each other in the spirit of patriotism that the President speaks. Let's remain united. Let's love one another. When you love your brother, you will not steal. You will not say bad about it. And in the end, you would have loved Amuru, especially if you come from Amuru. Because you cannot hate someone in Amuru and you claim that you like the district. The district's development is only entirely on us as people of Amuru. And that means it calls for a lot of concerted effort from all of us. I want to thank you, and I want to thank God for today. Given the full instruments of power, our work starts now. Thank you so much.
Always inquire. And then teamwork. If you work together, you can always push any obstacle that is in front. But when you do it single-handedly, many punches when thrown at you, you are bound to. I therefore call upon the DSC of Amuru, please give George, Abudul, your current RDC, all the kind of support that it needs to ensure that you perform. If you start work, the DSO is looking in a par. The police is looking in the direction of Gulu. Then the other one looks in the direction of, which direction is it? Nuaya. Then that means you are bound not to have consensus, isn't it? Have him better. Otherwise, the entire team of Amuru, you have an RDC, the necessary support. I don't doubt his capabilities. He's tested, aided, knowledgeable, and therefore let's take that as an asset that the district should also tap from. Finally, Stephen played his role in this district. There were thorns, there were pricks on him, but that's leadership. You can never, just like he said, you can't have it 100%. I can still tell you that you have the trust when you leave Amuru. The trust, as somebody who sits up, I know what is discussed, but you're human. And therefore, when you leave this district, I wish you all the best. Go and be a star, carry our flag. Carry our flag, so that the next stage should be what is in the head.
Amuru introduce himself. Allow me break that protocol and allow the chairperson in the name of Amuru. What to say?
In the new place was also very nice. There were mixed reactions. Some of the teachers I worked with in the old school were very happy. Some were not happy. But when I went to the new place, a similar situation happened where the person I'm replacing had a similar experience. So these are all duties. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the party to welcome you. I want to inform you that Commander Latek did quite a lot. There are many things we are going to remember him for. When he came, he worked very hard to settle the leadership of the party to the district level. I'm just making a brief from here, but I have a written speech which I will give you later. So, Commander Tek did quite a lot. And for sure, these are blessings that you are carrying with you in your new station. When I saw the list of the supplement of the RDC, I saw a name called Abudul. It again reminded me of the story we used to read about Abudul. Very interesting stories we learned in primary. I became very interested to know who this Abudul is. So I'm happy to see you. You have come at a time when we are going for general election. I will introduce to you the key members of the party when we are in the world. These are the people you are going to work with. And I want to say that this is a time we must work very hard to mobilize people for our party. But briefly, in the 2016 election, the presidential election was not very good. We were almost second last in giving the president votes. We were number. So we became second last in the whole country, and we gave the president 31%. But in the last general election, we worked very hard with the team. We improved to about 58%. And this is not a small thing. Now that you have come, we believe you are going to work with us. First of all, to have all this percentage, to have all it so that we don't drop it down, and then later on increase more so that we all go together. To Commander Latek, where we went wrong, forgive us.
Nothing personal.
Where things did not all go well on your side, we say these are areas of improvement. In these development terms, we don't say they are bad things, we say they are areas of improvement. So we shall all work very hard to improve on those areas. And we sincerely wish you so well. We are going to Gabon, which is very far, and it is a new culture indeed, but it's also good to learn so that we all move together. To our team from apart, we want to thank you for the number we have shown. You know Abudul so much, but not more than us. We want to prove to you that we love you more than you. We want to thank you for coming in this big number. And happy to see my Amuru here again. When she was here, I used to call her Amuru because my brother is married from there. And Amuru in Lao is an in-law. Yes. So I want to thank you so much for coming. And it is good to see where your son is going to stay. And as the outgoing RDC told you, Amuru is what you want to make. If you want to make it good, it will not refuse. If you want to make it bad, you will also receive it. So with these few words, I know I will have opportunity to talk better when more people are there. Appointed people by themselves, you are stars to us. Wherever you go, please keep on signing. Because the way you speak, the knowledge you have, so that the president knows how to choose. It's not just choosing anyone. He chooses people who have materials in their mind. And therefore, I think there's no vacuum left in Amuru. We have someone who is taking out the position. With these many words I've said, I take the honor now to invite the national coordinator. So whoever chose him, we chose him rightly because he's doing the right thing. I have to tell you so that you know. There is someone doing your work.
all protocols observed. In that regard, as it's required, I also want to introduce my coordinator again, because it would look so bad if I don't introduce it myself. Please. Already, I know he's doing a very good job. We always follow each other. Thank you so much for shining the flag high. I don't want to speak much. I'm just so happy and humbled that Amuru has received our own George in the district. My prayers is you work with him. He's someone, by the end of the day, you will not want to lose. Because I know he's someone who can push and make things right. I want to thank you all. I don't want to talk much, but may you please handle him with care. Take good care of him, because we love him so, so much. That is why all of us are here. To show you people that he's someone that we don't want any hands on. We want him taken care of. He's someone who can adjust. If there is any problem, you talk to him, he will sort you out. I want to thank you so much once again. May God bless us all as we are here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know,
based on social contract, I've been entrusted by the people of Amuru Town Council to lead them. I'm extremely excited based on the resettlement. When I saw the breaking news at around 9, then I was eagerly waiting. When I checked Amuru, because my interest was on Amuru. So when I see Amuru, then I see Abudul George. Before I see Abdul, I think I didn't see the other thing of the RDC there. Then I was like, really, but all the best. But when I see Abdul, the RDC Amuru, then I start looking for my friend Latek. Then finally I show his name in Gabon. As the party chairman said, this is nature of duties and work. It's also prudent for everyone to experience new environment. If there is anything that anyone can explain to me about Abdul George or Osman Ogutu that I don't know, then maybe it is a lie. Because I've known you people some time back, and Ochen, we have been in a struggle. And I think we are still keeping the struggle to push on. Amuru is a very hospitable place, though you learn the culture as we go on. Support and also take you through the cultural dynamics as you balance with the national guidance and other things. All in all, I need to thank everyone for coming for this very optimistic, historical moment that in a nearby future, I know the three of you, one will be at the national platforms, not at a district platform. And again, we shall keep the candles lighting. With this
you are getting today, I got it last year. Around this time, though one month I think ago in July, when Joanne gave me, and she went away. She went back to her patch. But I'm happy she has accompanied you, and you are here. As I was coming, I also had some fears 1 year ago. But the team of Amuru, led by the chairpersons, the chairperson of the district, the chairperson of the LRM, and everybody present here, including the security team, welcomed us. I came together with the cow, and the handover took place on the same day. So we were all new. But as I talk now, I'm a full member of Amuru district local government. They inducted me. All these people, they work as a team. I'm happy our parish priest is here, Father Philip. I'm one of the shepherds that he looks after. the flocks that he looks after. And as a community, we are happy. As a district, the technical team, we have always worked together with the office of the RDC and the security team. And you are coming on board. I know we will add more insights. We are happy with what Stephen has given us. Before we were here, Amuru was nowhere even in the position. But when we came and teamed up in rendering services to our people of Amuru, for so long, we were now rated number 10 in the whole country. Only to be won in the greater northern Uganda by only Apache municipality. And I'm happy with Apache also for doing that. But this year, in the next assessment, I think Apache may get a bit behind. As we leave nobody in front of us. So that is what we are eager to.
The RDC is so here.
No, that the RDC which made Apache number 6. We are now heading to number 1. But my mentor also, George, is not an easy one. I know we can get close there.
My team had already, political wing, already introduced themselves. If not, then we have got the members of executive, 151.6 square kilometers. So it is among the widest district in Uganda. It is up to 4,000. It is 10 times the district that our deputy cow came from, that is Manafa, because it is only 450 square kilometers. And ours is 4,851.6 square kilometers. It is wide. It has got 203 villages, 58 parishes, and 13 sub-counties. These are wider regional sub-counties. So Amuru district is in L shape. From here you go to Rhino Camp in Arua, Umadukolo. From there you go to Nimule, and it is a border district. From that side you go to Lamore, and other side you go to Pakwach, and other side you go to Bongi, and it is all our district. And we are now acquainted with the situation. The good thing, we are home. You are coming also to be part of us at home. I am appreciative. The outgoing RDC is my OB. I joined Laiwi College in '95 when I was already in Laiwi College 1 year before me. And we started working together when he was posted. And you never know, coming 26, you may go to a router. When I wrote myself in Amuru to meet in Parliament. That is the interest we have. It is good in life, you should have like America. You have a permanent interest, but no permanent enemy. For me, I have got my permanent interest, but no permanent enemy. So my interest is permanent, but I don't have got a permanent enemy. So we can be in position to do the work that God has assigned us to do it. We never knew we would work together, and it is good enough. We are in the same age bracket, and we're still vibrant youth. We are adult youth aging. We can be in position to serve this district very well. We have got committed civil servant. I would say in a home, you cannot stay 100%. When I saw the passion that showed to me that you were, as RDC reshuffled, we are for a meeting in Pabo, in a health center. There's a new health center being upgraded. And while we were for a meeting, the RDC really indicated, Chairman, see, we have been reshuffled. And I said, who has been brought to Amuru? 7 of you are not dropped and taken to Gabon. Then they said, Abudul, George from Apache. The first person I called was the deputy. And I told him, I said, Deputy, they have brought for us Abudul from Apache. I heard you had conflict from Apache. You must not import your conflict in Amuru. The first person I called was deputy. So the tour of duty brought you together in Amuru. No importation of conflict from Apache to Amuru. Because Amuru is not your battlefield. Amuru is where you have been assigned to serve duty. And I took like 2 other days, then I called him. I said, thank you so much, you have been appointed to serve in Amuru. But I have already told your deputy that Amuru is not your battlefield. When you had conflict from Apache, leave it in Apache. Amuru is your working place. You must be in position to serve the people in Amuru. That was, I think, my words to you. And we chatted and I said, you are welcome. I want to know when you will take over office so that we see what to be done. 7 hours, I held a district executive meeting. I invited all aides of department. We were in preparation to welcome the Northern Regional Parliament. Then I said, I need to have a brief so that I give to my members of parliament to have a talking point. And indeed, I gathered all the challenges, all what Amuru takes, then I sent to the members of parliament, because it is them that's supposed to speak on behalf of Amuru. By the way, I never attended the regional parliament, because my space is not there. I want to speak. I cannot sit in a gallery, and yet I can be in position to speak well. So I said it is the work of the current members of parliament. I should feel them. And indeed, I appreciate technical passions. We gathered all what it takes as Amuru, and we sent to our members of parliament as it is, when people whom I want to compete with in 2026. I send it because it is their time. And we should respect God's assignment. If it is your time, you must be respected. I would say in a home, you cannot have a smooth sailing all over. I cannot really, when you are coming and say, Amuru district LC5 had got a safe ride from the time RDC was set, even though he was he is my OB from the UB college. We had also but rough sailing. It was during the implementation of the presidential directive, the security personnel messed up and caused the death of our district veterinary officer. And of course, I said we could not contain the RDC was negligent of security that caused the death of my staff. And we had rough time with security team. And of course, the head of security team is the RDC. We never had a good time, because interest of my people is number 1. And interest of ourselves comes second. And I wanted, we are like doctors. Doctors, sometimes you will be busy as if you are carrying operation. You'll never know you are stepping on the oxygen line of a patient, and you find the patient is suffocating. I found myself was suffocating because the security stood on my oxygen line. And I also wanted to survive when the operation of RDC is causing the state to lose the support. It means you are losing the assigned duty that state and the president assigned you to do in the district. And of course I found we had got that rough. But after when we sat together with RDC one time as OB, two of us then said, this was the reason why we were conflicting. We need to work for the district. And two of us, only one person witnessed our sitting. And we started working normally. I said, we should be in position to serve the district. That was the situation. And of course, we took tea, we took our nyamas choma somewhere, 2, 3 of us only. Then I said, we need to serve Amuru local government because it is our duty to serve the people currently as assigned by our authorities. And indeed, no one knew, and we moved on until now that it was RDC sent now to Gabon. I know he will be in position to serve that, but the appointing authority would have known because he is pursuing his LLB in Gulu University. By now, it would be really taken closer to allow him to finish LDC and Gulu University. I know he will be in position because career building is number 1 and key for our personal enrichment and also to serve the state better. While you are coming, we know LDC for all this time. And ever since when I emerged from Law Development Center, I served in World Vision, I joined politics. I've been the district chair of FDC, Forum for Democratic Change. I am now 15 years as the district chair person for the party, and we have been winning that level. Because I am an architect of the same. While coming, I also been positioned to say FDC is not also my maternal things. I would be in position to leave it or go and join other move. I also analyze on the issue, and so is FDC ready to take over government? I found it is not, because you find there are now two camps, and each camp is fighting each other and not fighting President Museveni. Museveni is comfortably sitting, seeing, watching this fighting now and creating rift between Najanakumbi and Katonga. So they do not want to take the government, they want to take each other. So my interest has been to stay in government. So when I am leaving FDC, I'll go to government where there's possibility. So I don't want only small. By now, I take Uganda is now being led, I always say, being led like religious norms of saying God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Hallelujah.
So if you are not the God the Father, be God the Son. So by now I am the district coordinator for the God the Son in the PLU. So while really overseeing the PLU, God the Son, and the Son can lead me to the Father. When we are praying, it says Jesus Christ, through Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, amen. So it means you can go to the Father through the Son. So by now, I am the coordinator of PLU in Amuru, and also being in position to try the Son, if you can take me to the Father. So, and that is politics. Politics is ideological, it is not enmity. And you choose where to be in position to move and take. And of course, this is me, not any other person. I am subject to myself. And of course, others will now join me in the move. While moving, I have got also target of saying, yes, I really sat down. The mantle now in NRM, the holder of the badge is the district chair of NRM. Is an incumbent holder of Kilak South bus in 2021-2026. I am also talking to him. I said that he leave this to me so that I hold these men. And of course, we are talking. I've gone to him, we sat down, I told him, I said, yes, Muse, you have done this for us. I won't really, when I'm going, I should not be in position to really enter a rift between you and me. And we are talking. So when the son talked well to me, he can lead me to the father, and Muse will be in position to give me the mantle. And never know, Mr. Abdul, we will be there in that house. We will make a difference. And I'm already on the ground doing my thing quietly. It is only because the Lord does not allow you to be in position to move openly when it is not within 8 months. Outgoing RDC, when you found President Museveni scored 15 votes in 2021, by the time you leave, let Museveni's vote be 30 and above. Then you shall have done the will of your appointing authority. In a situation whereby President Museveni's vote is dwindling, getting smaller, it means you're not doing the will of the appointing authority. We are striving in making sure that we move. We are also in transition. Who does not want to be in government, in the transiting government? Young as we are, President is now going 80. For us, we are now in 40s. To reach 80, surviving being out of government is not easy. While we are now moving, we are aging. I told even some people, at our age, we should be building bridges. If you don't work on it, your children will work on it. You should not destroy the existing bridges that we got. And this is now our mantle together. I wish you all the best in Amuru. While in the district executive, I already informed them, we will have got time to allow all the LC3, all the heads of department, all to really have got a meeting with you security team, avail them to you, and you work with them. It will not be smooth. You will also be in position to order for arrest, investigation. I am only your friend when I'm doing the will of the Father. But when I diverted away from the course, please. When in Amuru, I wanted you also to avoid people forming cliques on you. You must not accept cliquism being formed, and you are the people going for forming cliques, of allowing me come to you and talk ill of Reverend Father. I said the problem of Amuru is Reverend Father, is Michael Lacogne, is somebody in the sub-county or in the district, or a district councillor is a bad person. Don't associate with him or her. I don't do it. For me, like what I did to you, what I did to Deputy RDC, a moment I saw, I picked the phone and said, don't turn Amuru into battlefield. Then I talked to you, I said, I've already said to your deputy, said, don't turn Amuru. I was telling you indirectly, but I said I told your deputy. And it means the message was well received. And now when we were, I was almost leaving Boma. That was the time the deputy RDC entered. I had already by then come, but when I moved out, I found the steering rods of my vehicle got broken down. Then I started calling for another vehicle to bail me. You saw me coming with education vehicle. That is not my assigned vehicle. I started coordinating to allow another vehicle come so that I attend this meeting. When we have got the deputy RDC, the diesel, the cow, the CID, they said, they are now doing, these are bad people because they are subjectively think on how they are supposed to benefit and create a situation of animosity, of ungovernance. They want, and when they say now, deputy cow is a land, they are narrow-minded people who will think that way. And if you don't avoid, I always tell people, you first work with me to know who I am than listening from people to believe. And yet I may be a different species of people. And of course, that is the only thing I tell you, avoid cliquism and believing in first incident. We came together with the NFA range manager, Mr. Nyebu Patrick. The head got their issue. Then I said, can we move to Amuru to resolve this problem? I don't believe in backstabbing. I believe when you have had Michael Laconia stated like this, call me. I'm a human being, I can err. And I say we harmonize the approach and move together. Number one goal is to allow the community be served and served well. There is a situation whereby we lack, and you know we are lacking it. You don't tell the community that we are defeated. As a politician and as a representative of president, you cannot tell the community that you are defeated. I always go to ready the reason why I've already shaped Amuru, because I am not ever defeated in any problem. I go to community and identify that yes, I've already seen the problem, we are working on it. By only saying the community will get healed and say they are working on, we have reported reality about, and we are working. As a leader, you cannot get defeated. I told your deputy in one thing, because stop lamenting, work, and stop issues blaming anybody. Because there are conflicts that are stirred up, you see somebody doing it, and he wanted security to handle. Sometimes they say, you know, it will compromise what will the people say. Those are issues that really made the situation to stay stagnated. But radically, by now we would have handled all these issues. So a different scope to conflict. Even in Apache, maybe a different scope to conflict. Now you are study the district, work together with DSU, because we have issues up to the ground level. I took the mantle to invite all the issues as a district chair through him, and they attended my meeting. I told them what I want and how they should be in position to help me as a district chair. Without the issues, without security, team intelligence, you will never be in position to man the security situation. There are hotspots. There are youth who are errands that you're supposed to deal with them, with iron fish. That really the security team, they know where they are and how to handle them. We should not compromise the security of the community. I wish you all the best in Amuru, and I wish my RDC Johnny Mercy to perform. While doing so, finish what it is, not with any other passion. Because at first I told my deputy, but I know Office of the Presidency is working on this dilemma, and soon maybe.
The right time, where even if I didn't work for it, I will also be counted to have fetched the chair. With that, we are coming to the closure of this session, and I think some other presentations will still be made the other side, and the introduction of other people who are there. We are going to take a group photograph here and in front of the office. I think we can arrange as I take these things to the office.
I should remind him.
No, it's pathway. Okay.
Kuna wale wadoki mwaka mwakoyo Museveni meyu upate kama ero biro na nyoba nyoba kata kani yongore yenye district secretary committee eto nyinge tuju na matinge chote ke me kwa ka mama le nyokoto meya esa Jumati kilwa ama kilembo.
Next time, publicity the big time later that district.
No red, the channel. Now I'm home there. I don't think that's why you take a cool river to go to. To me, this is can. So, Saturday, I'm going to allow you. I tell you, the thing, you fly there, no one else. Yeah, we come. In what year,